Let me be real with you. Procrastination almost killed my dream. I had this idea of starting a YouTube channel for over 6 months. So I had hit financial freedom and quit my corporate job back in January, and I was ready to do something new. I wanted to share everything I've learned over the years, but guess what? I didn't post my first video until July. That's over 6 months of zero progress. Nothing, just excuses. And I kept telling myself I'll start tomorrow. But at some point, I had to face it. Procrastination wasn't just wasting time. It was killing my progress and keeping me stuck. And once I realized that, everything changed. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that turning point was, the moment that snapped me out of it. And then I'll break down the 7 steps I used to finally beat procrastination. These steps help me move forward, and I believe they can help you too. Let's get into it. Step 1, find your why. If you don't know why you're doing something, chances are you'll stop doing it. Every goal needs a reason behind it. Something that drives you, a deep personal reason. Not just, I should do this, but I want to do this. For me, starting this YouTube channel came down to 3 big reasons. First, I've always loved helping people grow. That's actually what I did for over 12 years working in corporate HR. But back in companies, I could only help the people who are inside of that company. Through YouTube, I could reach way more people, thousands, maybe even millions. That impact matters to me. Second, I didn't want to quote unquote retire and do nothing. I wanted a life that's richer, more creative, and more connected. YouTube lets me work from home, live on my own terms, and still share something meaningful with the world. And third, this one is a bit personal. I wanted to leave something behind. One day, my daughter, maybe even my grandkids, could watch these videos and get to know the real me. But that's my why. Yours might be totally different. Maybe your dream is to learn guitar because it's something you've wanted to do since you were a kid. Or maybe you've always wanted to run a marathon, or start a small business, or write a book. Whatever it is, make sure it means something to you. Once you find your why, you want to take a step further, visualize it. Picture it like it's already real. If I imagine building a channel that reaches thousands of people, that gives me energy. Same for you. If you're learning guitar, imagine playing your favorite song for someone you love. If you're trying to get fit, imagine how it will feel walking on the beach, feeling confident in your body. And here's a tip. Don't just visualize it, make it visible. Studies show that people who write down their goals and see them often are way more likely to reach them. So you can print out a photo of your favorite guitarist and stick it on your wall, or set your phone wallpaper to a picture that represents your goal, or write down your dream. For example, I weigh X pounds, or I make Y dollars per year, and put it where you can see it every day. This keeps your why front and center. It feels real and is way harder to ignore. Step 2, focus on fewer goals to win bigger. When I quit my day job in January, I felt like I wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to learn a new language, learn to play violin and drum, learn longboarding, practice yoga. I also wanted to get back in shape and start hitting gym every day, start a YouTube channel, read 50 books, and travel more. But I only get 24 hours in a day, and my energy isn't unlimited. I did start on a little bit of each. For example, I registered myself a YouTube account back in February, but I never had the time to sit down, make contents, or upload anything. And I found that when everything is a priority, nothing is. When I spread myself too thin, I stay stuck at the starting line at each of them. That's when I realized that if I kept splitting up my time like this, I would never start my YouTube channel seriously. I had to choose and pick. For me, this year, I finally chose first, building this YouTube channel. Second, learning to play the violin. And third, working out more consistently. That's it. Everything else is secondary. And by cutting the noise, I've actually made progress on all 3 of them. When I focus, I build momentum and start to see results. And those results give me motivation to keep going. So ask yourself, what are the top 1 to 3 things you want to achieve in the next 12 months? Which ones will move your life forward the most? And which ones feel most aligned with your why? Write them down, keep them visible, and be willing to say now to everything else. Not forever, just for now. Focus is a superpower. Use it. Step 3, know your triggers and outsmart them. We don't procrastinate for no reason. There's always something behind it. If you can figure out why you're avoiding something, you can actually find a way to beat it. For example, perfectionism was a trigger for me. Before I uploaded my first YouTube video, I procrastinated for more than half a year because I wanted to be perfect. I had no experience talking to a camera, no editing skills, and definitely no lighting setup. but I kept telling myself it has to look professional. That mindset completely paralyzed myself. Finally, I realized that if I don't start messy, I will never get good. Just because something isn't perfect doesn't mean it's not valuable. So I give myself permission to start imperfectly and improve over time. And that turned out to be the only way real progress happens. Another trigger for me was the fear of failure or criticism. A few years ago, I started learning how to ice skate, and I was terrified of falling. Every time I went to the ice rink, I held back. I wouldn't try new moves, and I didn't improve. So I flipped the goal. Instead of saying, don't fall, I said, my goal today is to fall at least 3 times. Why? Because falling meant I was trying new things, and every fall became proof I was pushing myself. And it worked. I stopped fearing failure and started learning faster, because failure becomes part of the process, not the enemy. Those were my triggers. Yours might be different. It could be the fear of unknown, anxiety, relying too much on deadlines, distractions, low energy, or anything else. But when you know what's really stopping you, you can then build a strategy to take back control. Step 4, don't just dream it, schedule it. A lot of procrastination comes from one simple problem. The task feels too big, unclear, and overwhelming. That's where planning comes in. Not fancy, complicated planning, just a simple system that helps you take action without overthinking. Here's how I do it. I first set a deadline. Whatever my goal is, I write it down with a date. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to exist, because deadlines create urgency and direction. Then I take that big goal and break it into smaller micro steps. For example, don't just write finish the report or launch my side hustle. That's too vague and intimidating. Try this. Create and name a Google Doc. Write the title. Outline 3 sections. Draft into paragraph. Write section 1, etc. Each step is tiny and manageable. Make a to-do list like this with a reasonable number of tasks and cross them off as you go. That alone can give you a real sense of progress and satisfaction. Third, block the time. Don't just hope you will find the time. Schedule it. For example, from 3 to 3:30 p.m. today, I'll work on editing my video. Even if it's just 15 minutes, put it on your calendar like it's a meeting. And when that time comes, start anyway, even if you don't feel like it. Here's a great trick. Use if-then planning. Like, if it's 7 a.m., then I'll go for a run. Or if it's after dinner, then I will spend 15 minutes learning Spanish. These tiny mental rules help you follow through without relying on motivation. Fourth, create a routine. The real magic happens when you build a routine, because routines remove the need to decide. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't argue with yourself every night about it. You just do it because it's part of your day. When you make your goal part of your routine, whether it's writing, working out, filming, or studying, you save mental energy. You stop negotiating with yourself. It becomes automatic. Finally, trust the process. Some days you will feel like you're not making any progress. That's okay. As long as you show up and do the work, even just a little, you are moving forward. It's not just about huge leaps. It's about showing up consistently. Progress comes from momentum, not perfection. Step 5, make it fun. Fun isn't just for kids. It's actually a smart way to make your process enjoyable. And this will help us stay consistent. For example, my husband plays the cello and I'm learning the violin. Usually we take turns practicing in our garage, but every now and then we pack up our instruments, head to a local park, and play outside together. Just that simple change, new environment, fresh air, playing music together, makes the whole experience feel lighter and more joyful. And there are lots of ways to make it fun. For example, if you usually study or work at your desk, you can work from a cafe, library, or even outside. You can also gamify it. Use apps like Habitica or Forest to turn your tasks into a game. You can make it social, like working or studying with a friend, whether in person or virtually, or share progress online, or join a community of people with the same goal. When you do these, you reduce resistance because you are less likely to avoid something that feels good. You build positive habits because you associate the task with enjoyment, and it becomes easier for you to achieve long-term success, which comes from consistency. Step 6, train your brain to enjoy effort by setting up little rewards. Rewards trigger dopamine, your brain's feel-good chemical, and the more your brain associates progress with pleasure, the more likely you are to keep going. So whenever you complete a task or hit a milestone, even a small one, reward yourself. For example, instead of making yourself study for 2 hours straight, you can study for 25 minutes, then have a matcha latte, and another 20-minute study followed by scrolling through social media guilt-free for 10 minutes. Now it feels lighter, and you're more likely to actually do it. Step 7, make it public. We all have that moment when we want to quit or put things off. That's where accountability comes in. routine. When someone else knows your goal and expects you to follow through, your brain gets a boost of motivation. Studies show that external accountability, like setting deadlines, sharing progress, or promising others, helps people stick to their goals far more than when they keep them private. For me, accountability was everything when starting out my YouTube channel. In June, after 6 months making no progress on my YouTube channel, I told friends and family I've launched this channel and I'm going to upload 1 to 2 videos every week. Once I said it out loud, I knew that they would be expecting to see those videos. And honestly, I hated the idea of bumping into someone later and having to say, oh yeah, I kind of give up on that. That social pressure, it pushed me to stay consistent. Here are some accountability tricks you can try. You can work next to someone, either in person or virtually. Just having another person there helps you stay focused. There's even a site called FocusMate that matches you with someone who's also working quietly on their own stuff. Or you can also just tell people what you're doing. Drop it in a group chat, post it in social media, let others know what you're working on. Another simple way is to check in with a friend, like sending a quick message when you're done. And if you want to make it fun, add a little pressure. Tell a friend, if I don't finish this by Friday, I owe you lunch. I bet that they will be more than happy to hold you accountable. Alright, that's the 7-step system I used to beat procrastination. But don't just watch and move on. Let's make it real. Here's your realistic starting combo, something you can do today. Pick one thing you've been putting off. Break it into one small task you can do today. Set a 10-minute timer. Do just that task, nothing else. Then reward yourself, even if you didn't finish, because showing up is already a win. That's how you start building momentum, one small step at a time. If this helped, give it a like, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below telling me what your one task is today. I would love to hear it. And if you're ready to keep going, check out this next video. I'll walk you through some ridiculously practical focus hacks that will help you stop wasting time and finally get stuff done. I'll see you there.